there, welcome to this session where I would like to introduce you to the training of farmers using the simulation model. My name is Flavia Nakabirwire. I work with Amphew, and in this session I would like to introduce you to the farmers simulation game. But before that, we shall talk about the principles of adult learning, because as we know out there, we are going to interact with farmers to train farmers who are adults. After that, we shall go into the introduction of the game and the sessions that are included in the training. Principles of adult learning, as we all know, for you to understand adults very well, you need to compare with children. The two are different, and therefore the classroom teaching of children differs largely from the teaching of adults. One aspect that is very clear is the issue of time. Children have a lot of time for school, while adults has so many jobs. Even when they have spared time to listen to a content about farming, we should, as trainers, know it at the back of our mind that their time is limited. And children can just do whatever they are told to do, as opposed to adults who have to see a reason in order to do what they are told to do. In other words, in our training, we should be very clear with the objective, why you're giving that information, and how it is going to help these adults. The children have very few past experiences and therefore are open to any new knowledge, any new information that you're bringing, while we know that adults have a long history of learning and they have so many things they have tried which may not have worked, or where they should have picked a lot of lessons. The children are also used to listening and being passive, while adults will enjoy where they are given a chance to give their opinion and share their past experience. So in terms of principles, when you're training adults, the issue of respect, they should feel respected and feel like equals. You need to affirm them. They need to receive the praise where it is due, even on small attempts. And when we are teaching adults, they need to be valuing the knowledge, valuing the content. In other words, it should be relevant to what they are doing. It must meet the real life needs of adults. Then the issue of dialogue, where adults don't want to listen passively, but they learn better when there is the discussion, the banking approach. The making deposits in someone's head may be effective for children, but for adults it may not work. You need to engage them, and the principle of immediacy, where they must be able to apply this new skill immediately. So where possible, farmers could be asked to try out practically what they are doing in the garden. And then the issue of relevancy is very, very key. There is what we call the 20-40-80 rule, where we know that learners remember more when they see visuals, and these are supported by the verbal presentation as well as experiencing. And when you take these principles in practice, your training will be more effective for learners. If you only lecture to them, the chances of remembering will be 20%. If you only lecture and show them, they can remember 40%, but the 80% comes with the actual trying out of things. Thinking, feeling, and acting should all be taken care of. So those are key principles that we wanted to start with, so that as trainers, you are aware of the audience you're going to talk to, and it helps you in preparation of your content. The purpose of this training is to raise business literacy for small farmers and agricultural entrepreneurs, to educate them in an easy and accessible, entertaining way, and with the ultimate goal of farmers to get means to provide themselves and their families through access to banking services, improving their quality of life as well as the quality of their farm. In this training, the 3 steps that cause lasting success are taken into consideration. Reflection comes first. We make them think. They do apply and then do. Think, apply, and do. When we talk of applying, this is where they are implementing. When we talk of doing, this is when the teaching, the learning is actually taking place. There are 6 sessions, 6 know-how sessions in this training. 1 will look at farming business basics, where we shall talk about crop selection and the cash flows. We know that farmers in their different areas are doing farming in different things, but how do they come to make the right selection? What informs that decision? And then the corresponding cash flows. The second session will measure success on paper, controlling and planning with these financial statements. You have the statements. One reason why people are not making records, they don't see the use of records. So in this particular session, we shall be teaching people how to make use of the statements. Then there is a session on dealing with financial institutions, the issue of savings, the issue of loans, because we know that is a very big source of financing for many people, farmers and other business people. How to spend the savings, how to spend the loans. This will lead us into a session on investments. How do you invest wisely? How do you manage the investments? Then we have a session on sales and customer management. When you produce for the market. So the market means you have customers. How do you manage these customers? And then lastly, the session on sustainability. How do we sustain this production? How do we handle the issue of seasonality and production and the risks that may come therewith? So a session on sustainability and risk management will also be handled, whereby we want you to tell the farmers how best to do these things.